Dmitry never imagined his toxic girlfriend would try to frame him again after his rebirth. When police arrived to arrest him for fraud, he didn't panic like in his previous life. Instead, he calmly sat down and waited for them to review the surveillance footage, knowing she would fail this time. In his past life, Dmitry had been the perfect scapegoat for his roommates and girlfriend. They orchestrated an elaborate financial scam at their university, using his electronic signature and fingerprints to make him the sole criminal. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. His parents died from the shock and grief, and he was eventually murdered in jail by people his girlfriend had paid. When he opened his eyes again, he had returned to the day they prepared their plan. If they could fabricate evidence of his crimes, he would create ironclad proof of his innocence. On the evening of December 22nd, 2025, at exactly 8 p.m., Dmitry stood at the police station entrance surrounded by thousands of online viewers watching his live stream. One by one, he deliberately damaged 5 expensive cars parked outside. The chat exploded. Some recognized his personal information, others threatened to call police. Dmitry smiled. This was exactly what he wanted. Within minutes, sirens wailed. 3 officers rushed toward him. The youngest tried to grab his phone, but Dmitry raised both hands in surrender. Quote, 0. The young officer froze, confused. Quote 1. Dmitry's face twisted into an exaggerated expression. Arrest me quickly. I want to go to prison. The officers exchanged bewildered glances. They'd never encountered someone so eager for detention. In the interrogation room, Dmitry frantically admitted to deliberately destroying property, refused any compensation, and strongly requested immediate detention. The middle-aged officer explained the penalties. 5 to 15 days detention, fines up to $1,000. Dmitry had damaged 5 cars worth over $2,000 total, enough for the maximum sentence. Quote 3, he said calmly. Quote 4, the officers had no choice but to process his detention. As they led him to the holding cell, Dmitry sat against the wall and closed his eyes. At this exact moment in his previous life, his roommates Victor and Sergey were in the university computer lab completing the final financial transfer. They'd unlocked his computer with his stolen fingerprints and used pre-recorded voice authentication. Every piece of evidence pointed directly to him. But now, Dmitry was locked inside a police station. Law enforcement had issued official documentation proving his location. No one could dispute it. Suddenly, rushing footsteps echoed in the corridor. His mother burst through the door, eyes red and swollen. When she saw him, she collapsed, embracing him tightly. His father stood behind, face like iron. Dmitry, have you lost your mind? Do you understand what you've done? The officer looked at his distraught parents. His father immediately apologized. Officer, I'm so sorry. Our son must be having some kind of episode. We'll compensate for all damages. Please let us take him home. The officer began preparing release paperwork. Dmitry suddenly stood up. No, I'm not going anywhere. I committed crimes. I want to stay in prison. His voice turned hysterical. His mother stumbled backward in shock. Then Dmitry pointed at empty air. He's always following me. Don't you see him? He's laughing. Standing right there laughing at me. His parents froze completely. His mother covered her mouth. Something's wrong with him mentally. He's never like this normally. I need psychiatric evaluation, Dmitry screamed. They're trying to hurt me. Everyone wants to hurt me. Only here is safe. The young officer tried to calm him, but Dmitry shoved him away. Don't touch me. You're all working together. His mother collapsed to the floor, sobbing. Dmitry, Mom is so sorry. Mom shouldn't have left you alone. Please, let's go home and see a doctor. Dmitry almost broke seeing her desperation, but he forced himself to continue. I don't know you. You came to hurt me too. His father lunged forward, trying to physically drag him away. Dmitry immediately screamed. Help! They're trying to kidnap me! Officers restrained his father. The situation spiraled completely out of control. Police asked his parents to wait outside, but they refused, insisting on staying on a bench just beyond the interrogation room door. His mother's muffled crying cut through the walls like knives. A young female officer brought Dmitry hot water. Quote 16. He knocked the cup away. Quote 17. The officer wiped water from her uniform and sat beside him, eyes full of concern and helplessness. His mother's pleading voice came from outside. Let me see my son. She pushed through the door. Dmitry, please come with Mom. Let's see a doctor. Mom is begging you. The wall clock read 8:25 p.m. Dmitry's heart pounded. Time was almost up. The final operation should be starting now. He pushed his mother away and hid behind the officer. Quote 20. His father entered, helping his mother up from the floor. Quote 21. They looked at him with complete devastation. At exactly 8:30 p.m., when the clock hand jumped, Dmitry felt an invisible lock suddenly release. He immediately stopped screaming and sat calmly. Quote 22. The sudden change stunned everyone. His mother looked at his father in confusion. His dad clenched his fists. Dmitry didn't answer, just closed his eyes. Police agreed to keep him under observation in detention. As his parents left, his father looked back with eyes full of despair and confusion. Mom, Dad... I'm sorry, Dmitry whispered. Wait just a little longer. This will all be over soon. The next morning, the police station filled with unfamiliar vehicles. When officers pulled Dmitri from his cell, he was still disoriented, until he saw strange faces in the interrogation room and heard the captain's words. Quote, 26, quote, 27. The captain threw down thick documentation. Quote, 28. Then Victor and Sergei entered, followed by his parents. Quote, 29. Victor said, glancing at Dmitri's parents with fake sympathy. He's been addicted to online gambling recently. He owes dangerous people money. Last night he stole my computer. Sergei pulled out his phone, playing a recording of Dmitri's slurred voice. Dmitri's heart dropped. He had no memory of this recording. More evidence appeared. Chat logs showing Dmitri asking about the company's financial system. Photos of overseas bank accounts supposedly found in his dorm room. Complex banking documents he'd never seen before. Dmitri, what have you done? His mother whispered, tears streaming down her face. Then an officer entered and whispered to the captain, whose expression darkened. Did you receive debt collection calls last night? He asked Dmitri's parents. His mother nodded weakly. Victor said with false concern. All the evidence wove together perfectly, pointing to one conclusion. Dmitri was guilty of massive financial fraud. His mother's eyes rolled back and she fainted. His father caught her, looking back at Dmitri with complete despair. Why? Why would you do this to us? The captain spoke coldly. We've consulted with Professor Zhao from your university. Dmitri's most respected teacher entered, looking at him with profound disappointment. Quote 39, quote 40. But Victor and Sergei had airtight alibis. They were the ones who reported him. Quote 41, the captain said. Quote 42. Dmitri had none. Professor Zhao turned away, unable to look at him. Quote 43. Outside, journalists' cameras captured everything. Victor and Sergei faced the screens with theatrical pain. We never thought Dmitri would do something like this. He's broken everyone's trust. Victor pretended to cry. We extend deep sympathy to his parents. We hope they stay strong. As officers led Dmitri away in handcuffs, he suddenly looked up and smiled, because this time, he knew exactly how everything would end.